Welcome to Monkey Chatter. Monkey Chatter is a podcast by three great friends who have different perspectives on all things wellness. So let's jump right into today's topic. Hello and welcome to Monkey Chatter. This is Lara and I'm here with Amy and Michelle once again. And I'm introing because today's topic was my idea. And we are talking about the beach today and how the beach just somehow makes everything better. And I don't know how many of our listeners feel that way, but I crave the ocean or the beach in warm weather, usually around this time of year, which for most of you will be in the middle of winter, February to be exact. Anyways, so I just said, let's talk about the beach. We don't need any prep for the beach. I was sick for like 10 days and I'm just getting over everything. And all I can think about is going to the beach, but I can't figure out a way to make it happen. And actually, I was going to ask you guys if you remember a couple months ago talking about doing a little retreat for the three monkeys, and in which we were looking and planning a little beach escape, but we didn't actually pull the trigger.
Yes.
Do y'all remember
We
that?
definitely talked about that. And I think I actually have a list saved on Airbnb, as a matter
Bet
of
you
fact.
do.
So,
Oh, I know you do. And the reason I
shocker.
know is because I was on Airbnb looking up beach places, and the ones that we chose came up, which they were bigger houses where we could have lots of room for the three of us to spread
Yeah.
out. In places like Naples and Sanibel Island.
Sanibel Island. Yeah. All those
Yum.
places. Yeah. I mean, we could still make it possibly happen.
I know my regular beach buddy is my daughter, and she's out of vacation time right now, so she's like, I can't. She's like, I want to go. But I am just craving it. Like there's like, what do you think it is about the beach that makes people crave going there?
I think for me, it depends on the beach. Because, like, living in Baltimore, the place that everybody here goes is Ocean City. And I do not crave that beach. No offense to Ocean City, but they're off season. I like to go there. But there are too many people there in the summer. Like, I want a beach that is a little more not so commercial-y.
So like more tropical, more like getaway-ish, like because that's close to home for you. So you're kind of lucky in that regard. Like if you just crave the sand between your toes, you can go there and do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, so a couple of years ago I did another girls trip and we did go to Sanibel. There were 6 of us went, and that was great. It was like just as we were starting to come out of COVID, I think. And so it wasn't huge touristy. It was, I don't know when it was, January, February. It was perfect. And yeah.
Well, I'm with you with the not touristy. Like so I feel like one of my best beaches is in Mexico from yoga retreat. Because it was a resort on a private beach, and it wasn't like a bunch of tourists everywhere. It was like only people staying in the resorts on that beach would be walking down the beach, and it was just so like serene all the time and tropical, and like the sand was warm, and there were hammocks like along the beach that you could just lay in that were like stretched underneath like a palm tree thing. I mean, that's where I go to when people like say, imagine your happy place in your head. That's where I go.
Yeah. And I think like, so my brother lived in Hawaii for a couple of years, so I went to visit him a couple of times. And like when we went to Belize, I feel like it's just, there's a different sort of thing with the beach when you can walk out in the water and still see your feet versus like, versus not. So, yeah, it's just different. All beaches are not created equal.
That is true. I'm not as much like as a kid, we went to the Atlantic side. We used to go to Florida And although it was nice and warm, the beaches are a little rougher. And the
Mm.
same thing on the Pacific side, like some of the Southern California beaches are, the water's not super clear and clean looking sometimes. But like if you go on the west coast of Florida or down in the Gulf Shores area or Key West, it's
Mm.
really beautiful.
I think we should make that happen.
Me too. Michelle, what's your favorite beach?
When you wanted to do this topic, I was like, huh, and really started, going back, like, when have I gone to the beach and what beaches did I like? And I'm like, oh, I've been to a fair amount of different beaches over the years. So Sanibel, I went to Sanibel with a really good friend of mine who passed away a number of years ago, but it was really one of those, she just called me up and was like, I'm going to Sanibel with some friends. Do you want to be like my plus one? And I'm like, yeah, I do. Tell me where to fly into. And she was, her name was Joan Van Blarcom. And she actually, I met her when I worked at the Trotting Horse Museum in Goshen many, many, many moons ago. And she was just this really wonderful woman who was, she was, I don't even remember how much older she was than I was, but probably a good 10 years maybe. And she just was such a great old soul, like she just was calm. I am not a calm person, she was always so calm and so just really, life was just, she didn't get all upset over things, like I can remember going into her office, like I'd be, losing my mind over something because that's what I do. And she had this radiator or whatever, however you want to say it, in her office because it was a really old building. Like the original Trotting Horse Museum in Goshen, New York was a really old building that was a stable or whatever. And she had like you could sit on her radiator. It was like right in the window. And I would just sit and she was, she'd listen to all my like craziness and be like, okay, well, let's just move on. So I got to spend a really wonderful week with her and we went and, picked shells because that's what you do at Sanibel. But that, Amy, when you brought that up, I immediately thought of her, and she's been gone a fair number of years now. But I still have those shells. I have a bunch of them up in my guest room.
Of course you do, if you've listened to the episode on clutter.
Yes, of course I
No, I'm
do.
kidding.
I have those. I have I saved 5 of them.
I'm kidding. I'm
That's
sure
so
they're
funny.
sentimental. It's different.
Oh, you know where else I have shells from, Amy? When we went to South Padre Island.
Oh,
That was an interesting, that was a beach trip that
that
wasn't,
was not
yeah,
super relaxing.
no. And it was, anyway, but I do have some teeny weeny shells from there. I've, and
Forgot about that trip.
me too, until
I
I
tried
just
to like block it out.
so sometimes the beach, not exactly what you had in mind, but Sanibel I loved. And I live in Lake George, right? So it's a big lake. So there's a they call it $1 million beach, which is where all the tourists go and everything. And it's like it's a really nice lake beach, but we never go there because, tourists, busy, summer. You just don't do that when you live there. So kind of like you with Ocean City, right? Like, nah, not my favorite. Bill took me to Agunquit for my 40th birthday, and that's in Maine,
Ooh.
and that was a really good beach trip.
Is that the ocean beach? Not a
Yep,
big lake?
Ocean Beach. Yep. And then for our honeymoon, we went to Martha's Vineyard. That was a fun
Ooh.
beach trip. Block Island. We went to Block Island in Rhode Island. That was
See, the northeastern beaches I've never really spent any time at, except for Ocean City. I have been there because as a kid, I think my mom took my sister and I.
Mhm.
Um, And I remember, we weren't kids. I was probably a teenager. Oh, I do remember I was in high school because I remember I met this guy who was a pilot. And my mom was like, yeah, you're not going off with this dude that you just met. And I'm like, why not?
Go,
And
mom.
I think I wrote him letters or something. It was really silly. He was Greek. Like, I remember a lot about him. I don't remember. I kind of do remember his name, but I'm not saying it on here just in case.
He might be listening.
But, like, I
Well,
don't
I'm
even know how I
sure.
met him. Like, how did I meet him? I don't even know.
Oh.
We stayed in, like, a guest house, and there were, like, rooms and, like, other guests who would sit on the porch in the evenings, and we were, like, across the street from the beach, and it was a really fun trip. It was like a mother-daughter trip. And my daughter and I do that a lot. We've been to many beaches, but one of our favorite places was we went to Key West a couple years ago. And while it's not like super beachy, like there are beaches, but we rode our bikes to like a state park beach, which was really nice. But it was just the atmosphere and the warmth and being able to walk and ride your bike everywhere.
Right? I love that.
Yeah,
Being
that
able
I
to
love.
that was fun. Like Martha's Vineyard, when we were there for, I think we went back too for one of our anniversaries, but that was the best. Like you could just hop on your bike and just zip around and, it just was, the ocean's like always there because, you're on an island. So it's like,
Yeah, but that's part of it. It's like I think it's partly the ocean air
mm,
and the putting your feet in the salt water and
mm,
the breeze is like healing somehow. Like the ocean breeze is when you're like in an area like that where you're surrounded by it, it just feels more healing somehow.
So I've got a
The
And
question for
sound.
you guys. So are you ocean swimmers? Like, do you swim in the ocean?
I will, yeah. Although I have had one or two times where I've thought, oh crap, like am I too far out? Or one time off the off Hilton Head area, which was a few years ago with some girlfriends, I literally got into like one of those things that pulls you,
The
but
rip
I
currents?
remembered you're not supposed to swim against them, and so I just let it carry me down, and I had to like it was quite a ways. I just let it. It wasn't that far out from the beach, so I just let it carry me down the beach a ways, and then I swam to shore, and I had to walk all the way back. But like if I had panicked, it would have been a little scary. But I kind of knew what you're supposed to do. But I was like, oh. But that was a beautiful beach too. It was south of Hilton Head, so it wasn't like Hilton Head proper, and it wasn't super crowded. It was like a little secret beach that our host knew about, and we had to hike kind of through these little trails along the beach. And
Ooh, I like those.
yeah, and then of course, speaking of the secret beach, do you all remember the
Oh,
secret beach?
in Belize, yeah.
That we took the golf cart to.
Yes.
That
Talk
was
about
fun.
an amazing beach, though. Like that
Yeah.
water was crystal blue.
That was a beautiful, beautiful spot.
Yeah.
That was our Three Monkeys Wellness Beach trip.
Yeah.
I have pictures of us like standing in the water.
We should post that.
Yeah. I have a picture. I think Michelle took one of me and I took one of her
Aw.
standing in the water.
There should be pictures of the three of us at some point. Or
I would
really,
think
there were
so.
four. There was another person with us
Oh,
too.
that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. That
And
was
then
a
there was an
fun trip.
island we went to also that was
Yes.
like up by boat.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that
That
was
was the
another
hotel's
beautiful.
Yeah.
Yes.
private thing. Yeah.
The
That was very
water
cool.
in that area, the Belize.
Gorgeous.
What island were we on? Was it San Pedro?
I don't think so.
I think it was San Pedro
Really
Island.
bad. I don't
Like
remember.
that, when I say I want to go to a tropical
That's
paradise,
who you
like
think of?
that's what I picture.
Yeah.
Yes, that or Mexico and Tulum where we went on our trip.
Yeah, that was a nice beach.
Yeah. Oh, my daughter and I went to St. Croix a few years ago, and that was also very tropical, and the water was really beautiful. But we kind of thought we were staying more at the beach, but it was more like on a rocky cliff that overlooked the water.
Mm.
So you had the ocean breezes, but you couldn't like swim right off the back of it or anything. So we had to drive to the beaches. But there were some beautiful beaches there. And it was just so relaxing. And I think that's what it is about the beach. I always feel so relaxed and calm at the beach.
I do. I have pictures of it. I was just looking. I have a picture. We'll have to post this. I have a picture of Michelle standing in the water like this.
Yay! Yeah, we need to post
Here I am.
some of our Belize trip pictures.
Mm.
Yeah.
Those were good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was probably my most favorite vacation ever.
Oh,
Oh, that
really
was
good
an
vacation.
amazing vacation. We
Yeah.
made the best of what could have been a bad situation, basically.
Yeah.
Especially that first boat ride.
Oh.
Somebody needs to tell the story of that
Amy does a really
water
good
taxi.
job.
Oh.
Tell the story, Amy, because you do really well with that.
No, I think Lara told the story one other time on here. Did a pretty good job. Let's just say it was a little rougher than we had
Anticipated.
planned on. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we
Well,
were
it was
thinking,
billed as what? It was billed as like a half-day cruisy
Yeah,
kind of
like
thing.
yeah, like,
cocktails and like night, like
yeah, you're
yeah.
gonna like
I didn't
hang
plan to
out
be
and
under deck, like
like like
pushed in with all these people on hard surface. Yeah,
hoping that our luggage stayed aboard and
Yeah, and literally all the people on that boat were like commuters that worked on the main thing and went back home, and they were locals, and we were like the random tourists,
yeah.
and we were
our
bouncing up and
umbrella
down
group
so hard. We were laughing, and everybody was like, "Why are those people so happy?"
because we're on
Yeah.
vacation. Yeah,
Yeah.
Mm.
That was definitely entertaining. I'm just glad none of us got concussed with that thing because it was it was a little rough.
It
But
was.
still, and again, I know we've talked about it on here, still not maybe as bad as our plane ride on the way back because our door came
Oh,
open.
Yeah,
that's true, but the most
Yeah.
beautiful views.
yeah.
It
If
was
you're gonna
it was
fall out of a plane, that would yeah.
it was
Um,
very lovely.
yeah,
Yeah.
even though the door popped open. Yeah, we
Yeah.
had a lot of transportation, I don't even know what you call them, incidences, because
Memories.
driving a golf cart around on that island is
The
quite
golf cart
scary.
was
I have video of that. We might be able to pull some clips out of that. That
Yeah, I think we should and post them.
would
People will
be
be like, I'm never going to Belize.
funny. Yeah.
I might have some I can send.
Yeah.
So do
That
you
was
guys know the show that's like on HGTV called Beachfront Bargain Hunt?
every
Have you ever
once in
heard
a
of it?
while, I will like zip. I don't watch it, but every once in a while I'll catch and I'll be like, wow, that is so cool. And who are these people? How do they do it?
Yes, and
How
it's
do we
like,
can we send them a friend request?
yes, like you totally, I mean, you watch it and you're like, I could do this. We could buy a beach house. I could buy a beach house
Mm.
because you're like, they're like, I have 300,000 and some of them have a lot more, but some
Yeah.
of them don't have that much. And you're like, okay. And they find these amazing little beach houses.
So I wonder though, like they don't tell you the rest of the story, like the maintenance and once they get in there, it's like, okay, what's the real deal?
Mm.
What's the
Yeah.
real deal? Anyway. But yes, I've seen that. There was a couple in Bermuda or something. They were getting engaged and they had like stupid money to spend. Thought, oh my God, I'd have to, yeah. Sell my house and my car and
Well, I
yeah.
know. I was thinking, we talked about this for a second before we got on, but like, why don't we have friends with beach houses? Like, why are we not hanging out with the right people here? Like, I just need a friend to go, oh, yeah, we're not using our beach house next weekend. Why don't you just go down and spend a long weekend? And be like, okay.
Yes.
But I don't know anybody. Kind of a bummer. Are we
Yeah.
hanging out with the wrong people?
Probably.
I don't know. We're hanging out with each other.
There's yeah.
All right, one of you get a beach house.
Yeah,
Amy's the closest. She's close to the beach.
Just
But,
work on it.
yeah. We could all go together and just buy one.
Yeah. Well, I have this vision though, and this is why it's hard for me to find stuff on Airbnb because, and I'm going to blame YouTube for this because I don't know if you guys have done this, but like when I work at home, sometimes I sit on the couch and I have my computer and I'm doing my work, but I like to have something on the TV that's not a program. So I'll put on these like, they're really good ones for winter, like a like a view of a snowy window with like a forest full of snowflakes. But they also have all these beach ones, and some of them are like these gorgeous, what look like a beach porch overlooking the ocean and a
Mm,
sandy beach, palm trees swing, and
mm.
the furnishings are gorgeous, but they're like AI generated, but they look real. I'm telling you,
So it
like,
just like stays on your TV screen,
yeah, and
you
it
it's
kind
like,
of, you can hear like ocean sounds and the
Mm.
oceans move. Like it's like a video.
huh,
And I'm telling you, it spoiled me because now when I get on Airbnb, I'm like, I want the one I saw on YouTube.
I want that view with
It's
that
like,
furniture and that porch.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's like the deserted beach, nobody's there,
Mm.
palm trees, the breeze, and like plants everywhere, and like waterfalls, and then your own little
Mm.
private patio. Yeah, like where's that?
Oh, yeah.
so what does one search for on YouTube to get that on their TV?
So I think I searched for like beachfront like view or like beach house view. Yeah, next time you're on YouTube, search for it. And the more you search, the more they'll start delivering, just like any social media kind
Yeah.
of thing. And like they have all kinds of them. Some of them are like a forest, but it's like this big, beautiful modern house with glass windows that open up into like a wading pool with fountains that I mean, it's like, what? It looks super real. Yeah.
Already?
Yeah. It's pretty amazing. So, like, that's what I
Interesting.
did the other day when I was still recovering and I was just sitting on the couch trying to get some work done on the computer. And I turned on that, and there's this one, it was like the prettiest, like, porch, but it was covered. And then there was like patio, and you could see the ocean. And it's like some of them are really detailed. It's like, how do they do that?
Interesting.
All right. I'm going to
Yeah.
have to go.
So, beach or mountains?
Beach. I like the mountains, and I've been there recently, but I mean, we went to Denver in that area in September, but I still like the beach better.
Mm.
I just want to relax when I travel, I guess. I feel like
Yeah.
the mountains are beautiful, but when I'm in the mountains, everybody's running and biking, and especially in Denver, like you
How
can't even
dare
drive down
they
the highway.
enjoy
Like
the outdoors?
they're like everybody's an outdoorsy, like moving and grooving, and I'm like, all right, just sit down.
Could you lay down? Yeah.
And if you're skiing, if you're there, yeah. The beach is like, like you said, Michelle, you're walking down the beach and the white sugar sand, you're picking up shells in the morning and
Biking around.
sipping on a little umbrella drink in the afternoon. Yeah,
We
riding your
did have
bike,
some
leisurely bike riding.
Right? Yes. Not, yeah. Like,
Yoga, like there's some places that'll do yoga on the
with your
beach.
pajama pants on
yeah.
and
Yes.
no bra.
Yes, most definitely.
We know that's how you like to roll on your bike, Clara.
That's the best way. I could spend every morning like that for like 3 hours.
Rest
That
of
would be
your life.
perfect.
Yeah.
Buddy.
No, beach, and I'm a good beach person. Like, I definitely am one of those people who can just bring my little umbrella, my little beach chair, a good book, my little cooler with my snacks and I can just do that all day. Like, I am not one of those folks who gets there, sets up, and needs to be out of there in an hour, like I'm bored. Yeah, no. I can I really can do it. Like, once I'm in, yeah, I can do it. I'm not a big swimmer. Like, I'm not one to, because we were talking about that earlier, and Amy, it looked like you aren't a big swimmer either.
If I can see my body parts, then I'm okay with it. It's the not being able to see things that freaks me out a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
And like when
that's why
stuff touches you and you can't see it.
Yeah.
that's creepy.
Mm-mm.
I will agree with you, and that's why I like the West Coast beaches of Florida
It's
because you
clear.
can see.
Yeah, you can see. Yeah.
Yeah,
If you can
and
see,
it's warm.
I'm good.
I don't want to be cold.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a little challenging. So I really like that part of the beach, and I like to get out of here in the winter. I definitely have had a few years where I haven't been able to go anywhere, and it does make me a little crazy, anywhere that it's just a little warmer.
Yeah.
Yep.
I will take
Yeah,
it.
I think we definitely need to make that happen for 2026 because we missed our opportunity, I feel like now maybe.
Yeah.
Well, unless we just
Yeah.
pick up and go. But
Yeah, which is hard to do.
Well, because
Yeah.
calendars, right? Like now I have things in my boxes.
Yeah, calendars
Yeah.
and pets.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
pets,
the
yeah,
animals.
that's my big problem is the pets. They need cared for.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a hard thing. But I do also really like vacations or like trips to other places that aren't at the beach. Like,
Mm.
that I love the desert, especially when
Mhm.
it's freezing cold here. So when I lived in Tucson, I really did, it can be really beautiful. I mean, some people really hate it because it's, the desert and not much water and, but I really, it's just nice and warm and I'm okay with a pool, like if it's at the right place and not super packed and it's nice to just hang out by the pool and pop in and pop out and,
Yeah, I could see the desert if it were like some kind of a wellness retreat
yeah. Amy,
where
didn't you
you
go to
were.
Sedona?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sedona's a cool area. It's
Yeah.
so
Yeah, we did
hot
the
though.
pink Jeep tours out there.
Yes.
Oh, you
Yeah.
did?
Mhm.
Those are cool. We saw those. My daughter and I went to the Grand Canyon and we went and spent a day in Sedona and I did like that area, but
Mhm.
I would only want to spend a lot of time there, like you said, if you had like a little resort with like, wellness stuff and yoga and a pool
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
like, massage and good food and healthy stuff.
Yeah. I
Yeah, we
really
were
liked when I went with my Equus coaching stuff, they do these I forget what they call them now, where you sort of update your skills. And so they have one in right outside of Scottsdale, Arizona. And I think they were doing that in March or April. And so I went to a couple and because we have so many Hilton points, I stay, I stayed at the Boulders, which is this really nice resort. And then I would, drive over to do the thing during the day. But I always would stay a couple extra days and that was really nice. Like you have your own little private casita with the little,
Ooh.
views and you could go walk on the really cool, paths that they have. And they have a spa and, all the thing and the food phenomenal. So that's a nice trip too. Like where
Yeah,
it's
that sounds good.
it really was.
You might want to go back.
I know. Now that we're like talking, we're like, all right, let's go somewhere warm.
Yeah,
I
like
know, just somewhere warm. And I am big on water. I mean, I would go someplace like that, like I said, if it was a retreat, but I feel like big water is kind of a big part of
water
it.
is
Big
yeah.
water.
Yeah.
Although I will say no, this was like 3 years ago, we went to Michigan in the summer,
Ooh, that's a big lake.
and that's a lot of big water, but the beach is not the same.
It's not. It's not
It's
yeah.
not. There's
Yeah.
no salt, first of all. So I
Yeah.
feel like that's a big part of what feels so good about the
The
regular
ocean.
beach, the
Yeah.
ocean. But it was beautiful. We loved the town we were in. It was Saugatuck, Michigan, and it's real close to the big lake. And so you do feel like you're outdoors and fresh. And it was a nice vacation, but it wasn't like it didn't fulfill
Wasn't
my
the
beach
beach.
need.
Yeah.
I
Right?
guess
The
I need the ocean.
tropical. Yeah, that
The
tropical.
tropical.
Yeah.
Yeah, the tropics. It's too bad because, like, Florida, I mean, how much longer is Florida going to be there?
Mm, right.
I mean, that's terrible. Sorry, I have
Oh,
family that live
I
there,
was
so
like,
I have family that live there. But like, let's be honest, like,
Yeah.
it's going to be underwater at some point,
Yeah.
probably not that much longer.
Right.
Ah,
It's scary.
I know, but like the West Coast is the more tropically side. I guess if you go to Miami and all that, it's the same, but I just feel like the beaches on the Gulf are so much
Mm.
quieter, and I don't mean like people, and I don't want to be around people for a beach trip, but I just mean like the water's
I don't want to
quieter.
be around people.
I don't like. I'm with you. I don't want to be on a crowded beach. I want to
Yeah,
be on
too
like a little
peoply out there.
Too
secluded
people. Yeah. Too
two people.
people. Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh my gosh, where are we gonna go?
I don't
Mm.
know. You know I'm gonna be on like Airbnb here in a minute.
I know. I've been on it off and on all week. Like, where
As
could
soon
I
as
go?
as soon as we're done recording this, I'm gonna be like, all right, this one, because sometimes you can get like pretty decent
Last
like
minute
last
deals.
minute stuff. Yeah, like
And also, you
yeah.
can fly last minute sometimes. Like, so we
Mm.
have a Legion that flies into Lexington and they go to Fort Myers, and they have a lot of really cheap flights in and out of Fort Myers.
Hmm.
And they also, that's
Yeah.
how we went to Key West too, is we flew to Key West direct and didn't need a car. So it was
Yeah.
a good deal.
Interesting.
To make you go,
I know.
Maybe I could find a house sitter for my old decrepit animals
Yeah. Aw.
and get some time off from the cave. Although I was sick for a week, so I shouldn't really need that.
Well, that's a little different time off.
Not really
though.
vacation.
I know that is not a vacation, not at all. So
Yeah.
the worst. And I feel like just, I know it's nice now, right now. Like we just had a really good random nice day, but spring is still a long way off.
It feels
I
that way.
The one thing that really helps though is that the days are getting longer.
Longer. Yeah.
That is
That's
Huge.
huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is huge. Having the daylight and the sun. My chickens are laying eggs again, which is
Oh,
what happens when they have the right amount of daylight. They take a break
yeah.
in the winter when there's no sunlight.
I like it.
Nothing to do with the beach, but
Random pieces of information.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to think, have you guys ever been to any other interesting beaches or foreign beaches?
Oh, when I went to Turkey,
Oh, we
we
went on the cruise.
oh, the cruise. Oh my God, how come?
How did we? Go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt
Yeah,
Turkey, but
so
I was
you can talk about cute. Yeah.
Yeah, Turkey
Yeah.
sounds very exotic.
Well, we didn't get to, it was an ag leadership trip, so it was like we went to all kinds of cool places, but one of the places we did go, and I can't think of the name of it now. I'll have to Google it later, but it's like, where people go when you live in Turkey to go to the beach. I can't think of the name, but we didn't, the weather was really lousy, and it was
Oh.
like, you sort of just looked at it from your hotel window, like, oh, as you're getting in the bus and getting out of the bus, you're like, oh, there's the beach. So that's probably the
What was the
beachiest
other
beach.
thing that you did over there? Some sort of
Oh God,
massage.
the baths.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Oh my God.
Turkish baths?
Yes, that's a whole other story for a different podcast. Holy God. I'm not
Oh,
sure I've
save that
recovered.
one.
Yes, I'm not sure I've recovered from that yet.
Oh my, we have to hear this in a future podcast.
That was a once in a lifetime experience for sure.
Okay, what about like a beach you've never been to, but if you could go to this beach, you would go. Well, okay,
Oh.
yeah, like a bucket list beach.
Oh, great
Bucket list
question.
beach.
Well, I think I have kind of like it's more of a trip, but I want to go to Greece. That would be one of my bucket list beaches is in Greece, but like for just like a beach trip, I don't know, when we were flying to somewhere, maybe St. Croix, I just remember the pilot going, and if you look down there in the big blue expansive ocean, you'll see Turks and Caicos.
That's what I was gonna
And
say.
I looked down and I was like, can we go there?
Yeah.
Turks and Caicos just sounds so exotic to me, and like I picture thatch hutches, but nice and like full of amenities right on the beach.
Like over the water, like the ones that
Yeah.
have like
Oh,
the
yeah.
like you can sleep in.
Okay, I want that.
Yeah.
The ones that are like perched on the water.
Mm-hmm.
Where are those?
I think they are there, aren't they?
Well, Turks and Caicos
I
would
think they
definitely
are.
Yeah.
Turks and
I
Caicos.
remember a million years ago in a lifetime far, far away. I dated this guy for a couple of years, and I never made this trip with him, but he would always talk about how much he loved St. Bart's. I think it's is it in the French West Indies, maybe? I could be making that up, so don't quote me. I'd have to look. But I've always, we really had sort of the same sense of flexibility about what we liked. So I was like, oh, if he likes St. Bart's, I need to go there. So I guess that's still in the back of my mind that like St. Bart's would be
Mm.
a cool place to go.
I
Yeah.
get confused with all the Saint Islands, like when we went to St. Croix, we picked it because it was part of the U.S. Virgin Islands, and that's because you don't need anything special to get in there. But there are so many others like St. Martin's and St. Bart's, and I don't know them all.
This is totally random, but that just made me think of my friend Andrea. I don't know if she listens to this or not,
Yeah, Andrea.
but she went with me the first year I went to visit my brother in Hawaii, and her husband had just gotten married not too long before that. And I still remember her telling me, "Oh yeah," like because I asked her, I was like, "Would you want to go along?" And she's like, "Yeah, I'd love to go." And she's like, "And you know what? I already have my passport and everything. It's 50 states. Kind of one of them."
Yeah,
She was
so there
so
you go.
excited because she already had her passport from
To go to Hawaii. Did they stamp her passport when she landed there?
I love it. That's so
So
cute.
Andrea, if you
That's
listen to
sweet.
this, I still remember that
We're
story.
still
And you're
making
making us
Yeah,
do it.
Hawaii is
Yeah.
beautiful, and I've been very blessed to be able to go to Hawaii. We had a friend that lived there.
Mm,
He was in the army, so he was stationed there. But this was back when our kids were, well, I guess Samantha wasn't even born. Carter was like 2, and my husband and I went to Hawaii and stayed with him, and then we stayed on Maui for a few days in a very nice hotel and right on the beach. And
nice.
it was beautiful there. Absolutely gorgeous.
So I Googled St. Bart's, and I'm not a complete idiot. My memory's still working because St. Bart's is the Caribbean's most glamorous island.
Oh.
The French island combines the best parts of French culture and the West Indies weather to bring visitors, fabulous hotels, etc., etc. So I didn't make up that whole,
No, you knew
West
where you
Indies.
were or
There
going.
we go. Yeah.
Okay, so there's another place that has always been, and for many years, I'm going to show my dumbness now. I always thought it was Ibiza, but everybody calls it Ibiza.
Ibiza.
It's
Yeah.
Ibiza. And Ibiza
Isn't that
is like amazing looking. Like I've seen pictures. It looks kind of Grecian. It's the south of
isn't that a
Spain.
song? Or is that
Ibiza.
a different song? Like I took
Are
a
you
pill.
thinking of Ipanema? Ipanema?
No,
The girl from Ipanema?
I don't know. I took a pill in Ibiza.
Oh,
Yeah.
probably it is probably a song. Because it does sound like that kind of a place too,
Yeah.
where you'd be like up drinking all night and dancing and taking drugs. Don't go there.
Yeah.
But it's pronounced Ibiza.
Oh.
Which is weird because it's spelled with a Z.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to Google that song.
I will. Who sings it? Do you know?
I don't know. No.
I took a pill in Ibiza.
Yeah.
Huh.
But she says Ibiza.
Oh, she does? Okay.
Yeah.
She's not pronouncing it right, I don't think.
I don't know.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I was right the first time.
you guys are cracking me up.
And I've also been to Jamaica because we went there on our honeymoon, and it was really beautiful too. Those are nice beaches. It was like all inclusive, so we didn't, go to other public beaches, but the water was beautiful.
Fun place we've been, Michelle, is well, not so fun the first night, but is Chincoteague. When we did the camping trip.
I've always wanted to go to Chincoteague. I think we did drive over there when we were
on
in Maryland.
the beach. That was
we camped on the beach.
Yeah, that was it's a different kind of beach trip.
Yeah.
We rode bikes. That was during COVID, man. Things were really weird.
Oh, wow.
It was like October, I think, of 2020.
Yep.
Yeah.
Do the wild ponies still run on Chincoteague? Yeah. I remember going to one of those islands, and I think it was when we were in Ocean City, and like there's all these signs that says don't feed the ponies, and they come right up to the car because people feed the ponies. And
oh, shocking. People don't follow directions. I am appalled.
They're like trying to stick their faces in the window, and you're like, oh, you're very wild.
Those feral ponies. Yeah.
That was a fun trip. And again, it was like there were definitely a lot of people there, but I felt like it was different because
that's a neat
wasn't
idea.
Like tourists.
Right.
Like, yes, it's touristy, but it's not like Ocean City touristy. Like
No.
there's not funnel cakes and popcorn every
Right.
20 feet,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Like they're
Yeah.
just
Like Myrtle
and
Beach. That's like Myrtle Beach to me.
yeah. Yeah. Oh, Tony and I went to Myrtle Beach. I
You
forgot
know
about
where I want to go that is sort of has been on my list for a long time. What is that little island off of the coast of Georgia? Is that Amelia Island?
Oh yeah, I've heard good
that.
things about that.
There's
There's also
Jekyll Island.
Jekyll
there's
Island?
several little islands around that area, I think. Amelia Island I've heard good things about, and then there's another one.
I don't know.
And I have friends. St. Simon's is another one that people go to that they say is really pretty.
So
And
I'm
it
like,
looks very quaint.
yeah, and I think, maybe it was some place that wouldn't have intrigued me when I was younger because there wasn't enough going on. But now, since literally all I really want to do is just sit there, like I think that wouldn't be bad. Yeah.
Yeah. A place like
Yeah.
that does sound appealing because I just like again, it's like the porch with the ocean
Yeah.
view. I just want to sit
Yeah.
out there and relax and
Yeah. Have a book
breathe the
that you just
ocean
turn
air.
over and
Yes,
pretend
read a
you're
book.
reading while you're napping. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
I'm
there's
reading
another
this.
great little there's a place it's not really an island, it's more like an inlet, but it's connected by a big like bridge thing. It's called Edisto Island. It's off of South Carolina near Charleston.
Ooh.
That is a really cute little place too, but it is the Atlantic Ocean, but it's just mostly houses that you can rent and some condos, and it's not touristy. But I've been there a couple of times
Let's
and I
find
really,
out what the
really liked it.
temperature is
Edisto.
there currently.
I know, I feel like it's still
This
probably
time of
pretty
year is pretty
chilly.
cold.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Mhm.
mean, South Carolina, because going to Aiken in this time of
Yeah.
year, I can remember mornings going out and having to take ice out of the buckets. I mean, it warms up to like the 50s, but if you want to go tropical, that's really not.
It's not tropical
Yeah.
enough.
So,
That's a
Not far enough.
summertime trip. That's like
Yeah.
August
yeah.
or before
52
the
right
hurricane.
now.
Oh yeah, see
Yeah.
that's too
Might as well
cold.
stay here.
Yeah.
Maybe you should see what it is in Sanibel Island.
Ooh,
See
Oh.
what Sanibel's
What is
temperature
that?
is.
All right. I'm Googling.
I feel like it should be like 78 to 82.
That'd be lovely.
Sanibel Island.
Like I'll be honest, if I'm at the beach, it needs to be 80 or plus.
Mm.
I don't want 70s unless it's morning.
72 right now.
Oh, that's cold.
But I mean,
I don't mind. Now, I like that.
night.
I mean, that's still better than, what we got
Well,
here.
it's better than it's been.
It was
-7
81 today.
Yeah.
Oh, it was 81 today. See,
Yeah.
that's what I'm
It's
talking about.
lovely, and then you
Yeah.
can put a sweater on at night.
77.
Like I like to be able to,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right.
Oh, yeah, that makes me
Sanibel
smile
Island,
thinking
here we
about that.
come.
Here we
Yeah.
come, Sanibel. We're coming. We just
Yeah.
need to
the other
find the
right
perfect
below
beach house.
Sanibel is what Captiva Island.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I've heard
I've
that's
always
beautiful.
wanted to, check that out. And when I was on that trip with my friend Joan, we kayaked through all the manatee stuff. I'm starting to remember this now. There's some park there in Sanibel that you can rent kayaks and kayak.
That would be fun. I would be
All
totally
through.
down to do that. I
That
like
was-
doing that kind of stuff on vacation.
That was one of my favorite parts
think
of that trip.
Some of the Airbnbs that I looked up were on there. Let me see, because I
Oh
think
my gosh, we're going
I really
to the
do.
beach.
have a list on here.
Maybe we should go in March,
Oh no,
early
maybe-
March.
maybe I deleted it because
You figured we weren't
we
going.
weren't going.
Yeah, I think I
Yeah.
still have a couple on my list. I'll have to look through them and send them to you.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, maybe wish list. Hold on.
Wish
Hold on.
list. That's it. That's a wish list.
Oh, yep.
I
I
have-
have Lara and Michelle trip.
Oh,
I do. 10 saved.
Awesome. 10. That's quite a lot to choose from.
Uh-huh. Captiva.
Uh.
Melbourne Beach. Captiva.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty.
Fort Myers. Captiva.
Oh, so we've got choices, ladies.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
All right, maybe we should give this a second thought.
Oh, no.
check it out.
I've been thinking about the beach for the last, I don't know how long, week.
Yeah.
I think I just need it at least once a year. I feel like if I don't get to the beach once a year, that's when I start like feeling like I need to get to the beach. It's like a craving the ocean, craving the salty air.
Well,
Yeah.
I guess we
should
can.
think about it and make it happen maybe.
Right, everybody.
Girl dream. Yeah.
Yeah, all
I
you
do-
people listening to this. Plan a trip
Make it
to
happen.
Yeah, and send us your favorite beaches. So we
Yes,
have
we
Yes.
really want to know about those.
Yeah.
Yeah, white sugar sand beaches with palm trees and not a lot of people and the perfect beach house.
And like
And
a
good
cute cabana
restaurants.
boy.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, then that's a bonus.
Yeah.
We don't ask for
Ah,
much.
Nope.
yeah, we're easy. We're easy guests. So yeah, if
Mhm.
you have a beach house and you want us to live in it and talk about it, we'll do that.
If you want to rent it out to the three monkeys,
Yeah, we'd be happy to, yeah.
we're responsible
We'll give you a
adults.
good review.
We are good. We'll clean it up too. We
Yeah.
won't leave it
Yeah.
messy at
Yeah.
all.
We will.
No.
Mhm.
Michelle might leave a few shells along the
Yeah, I
along
just throw
the
them out. I can't do
yeah.
it, but you can.
Yeah. I have tons of shells actually. I'm as cluttery as anybody when it comes to that. I have little bowls of them in weird places.
I definitely make I'm limited. I have just a few. And I got, like I said, those little South Padre Island ones are teeny weeny, like they're little. They don't take up much room.
You
Yeah.
never know. We'll make it happen. I mean, if we made Belize happen when the whole trip even got canceled and Amy found us the most perfect place to stay, we can do
That was
this.
a good place.
Maybe not
Yes.
this year, but we're definitely going to do it next year if we don't do it this year.
Got it.
Yeah.
We're in.
And I might just have to escape
Go
on my
somewhere.
own to the beach. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I literally was just looking. I was telling Michelle, I think before we started, I was like, I have
Dozens.
Googled multiple times, where is the hottest place in the United States right now? Of course, it comes up Death Valley, but
Ah.
I was like, where can I go? Like just for a weekend?
Yeah, like
it
a
doesn't even
long
have to be.
weekend. I
Yeah.
could just do 4 days.
Mhm.
Yep.
Doesn't even have to be super long.
Nope.
Yeah.
I just want to like hop on a
Get
plane
out.
and go
Get out
somewhere.
and go somewhere.
I mean,
warm.
Arizona is
Yeah.
probably a safe bet to be just warmth, but if you want the beach, I would
Yeah.
say
do
southwestern
want-
Florida
Yeah.
Yeah.
or Key Westy
I
area.
kind of do want the beach too.
Me too. Ah, there's something
All right.
about it.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for
I'll
indulging
keep
my
looking.
beach talk.
I know this is very
Thanks for
impromptu.
joining us. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was impromptu. And I hope you all go on YouTube and find your perfect beach getaway.
I'm gonna go check
Yeah.
that out. Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. I might have to go put it on too.
We try and monkey
Or
chatter
maybe I
our
could
way out of here.
Yeah.
Lord.
Oh, yeah, we didn't do that
We didn't
last
do it
We didn't
last
do it
time.
last
because
time.
we had
We
a
were
guest.
not going to subject her to that mess.
No.
No, poor Cindy. She was so kind to be on and tell us
She
all
is
about
not
mindfulness.
mindful.
But now we can do it.
Okay.
Are you
Okay.
ready?
Ready?
Are you counting us down, Lara?
Are we gonna go?
All right,
Like,
I'll
are we
count us
gonna
down.
try and go quick?
Yes.
We're gonna try. Don't
Okay.
hesitate. Just do it
Okay.
fast. Like do
All right.
do do.
Okay.
Ready?
Ready?
1, 2,
2,
3.
3.
Monkey chatter, monkey chatter.
Who
hang
you
with
hang with
matters.
matters. Oh, I don't know. That might have been good.
Our definitions of quick are different.
All right, we'll sign off now. Thanks for listening.
Peace out.
Thanks for listening to Monkey Chatter today. As a reminder, we want to let you know that while we think we are really smart, none of us are doctors or medical professionals. So anything that we say or suggest on this podcast should be run by your doctor before you make any major lifestyle, nutrition, or medication changes. Take care and be well, friends.